guys, it's Melanie and welcome to my 3-month intermittent fasting update. Towards the beginning of each month, I have been updating you guys on how things have gone for the previous month. I really like doing these updates with you because they sort of help to hold me accountable and help me to continue towards my different goals. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you missed my previous 2 updates that I've done on this topic, I will link them in the description bar down below. So if you're curious, definitely take a look at those videos. The very first video sort of helps to explain why I'm doing this, what I'm hoping to get out of it. And it's not a ton of weight loss. I know that a lot of people do intermittent fasting exclusively for weight loss, and you can definitely do that, but for me this was more of a lifestyle change and something that just worked a little bit better with my particular schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and get into what this past month was like, the changes that I've made, and then the pretty significant changes that I've noticed as a result of just doing a few things differently. So the very first thing that I finally changed this month in terms of intermittent fasting is that I eliminated the splash of almond milk that I was doing in my morning cup of coffee. It took me the first 2 months to transition to doing exclusively black coffee in the morning. So I know a lot of people in the past have said that if you put any amount of calories, whether it's, 10, 15 calories or, 40 calories into you, you're basically breaking your fast and you're not getting anything out of the intermittent fasting. I do have to say that for me personally, even though I was doing those 15 calories worth of almond milk in my coffee, I did still notice a lot of really great benefits over the first 2 months, and even some weight loss. So for me, that wasn't like it was a total loss, but I just had trouble committing to drinking black coffee because it's very different to drink black coffee when you are used to, drinking lattes in the past, something with milk or almond milk or coconut milk in it. It's a very different flavor, and it can definitely sort of throw you for a little bit of a loop. It's a little bit harder on your stomach, at least on mine personally. So that transition took a while, but I finally made the leap this last month, and for the last 3.5 weeks, I have been doing exclusively black coffee, 1 cup in the morning. The rest of the morning is water, and it's actually okay. I thought I was going to absolutely hate it and that I wouldn't be able to continue doing it, but it's okay. It's not my favorite. And on the weekends, so I don't take the weekends off from intermittent fasting. I do it 7 days a week. It just works for me, so that's great. On the weekends, I do allow myself that splash of almond milk in my coffee in the mornings. So there's 2 days a week that I am getting those 15 calories in the morning, and maybe that ruins the fast, maybe it doesn't. I know that there are arguments on either side of this, but I will say I have noticed a difference doing the black coffee versus doing that splash of milk. There has definitely been a decrease in the fat content on my body. I feel like the thing to know about me is that I work out pretty heavily 6 days a week at the gym. I predominantly focus on lifting, so I am looking to build really strong muscles. I do at least 30 to 40 minutes of cardio as well, but I spend the bulk of my time, so like roughly about an hour each day, focusing on weight training. So my body mass is, I mean, I'm pretty solid. I'm kind of built like a tank. I have a lot of muscle, but I did still have some stubborn areas of fat on my body that I was hoping that intermittent fasting would sort of help me to address, because there's areas where you can work those specific areas time and time again, and you're not necessarily going to lose. You can't spot train, you know, like just because I'm focusing on training my inner thighs like exclusively, it doesn't mean I'm gonna lose the fat on my inner thighs, you know, like some areas are just kind of stubborn. But I've noticed that since transitioning to the black coffee that I am noticing that fat starting to slowly go away. But the thing is, I still haven't lost a ton of weight. So I started this out at 187 pounds and I am now down to 183 pounds. And that's mostly just muscle. I mean, I do still have more fat. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's still areas where there is room for improvement. But really, honestly, the main reason that I do intermittent fasting is that it helps my gut. I haven't been diagnosed with IBS or anything like that, but I've noticed that when I do not eat in the morning, I am far less likely to have stomach issues later on in the day. I don't get bloated. I don't get those like painful tummy aches. I just feel like my system has a break in the morning to actually digest everything that I put in the day before, get rid of that stuff, and just have a chance to rest. And I found that that is hugely beneficial to me, and that is the number one reason why I started intermittent fasting, and it is why I continue with it, is that my gut feels so much healthier. Now, I do take some vitamins and supplements. So I take a probiotic, I take a vitamin each day. I also take a fish oil supplement. So, I take those things because they sort of help round out my diet a little bit more. I will typically take my vitamins at night with my dinner. So for me, if I didn't mention it yet, I'm doing the lean gains. So that means that I fast for 16 hours, which for me includes my overnight sleeping period. I stop eating by 8, and then I don't have my next meal until noon the following day. So that's 16 hours. Now, another change that I've actually made is that I am working on trying to get to an 18-hour fasting period. So that means I wouldn't eat until a little bit later on in the afternoon. My preference is, or has been this last month, to stop eating by 7 or 7:30 and not start eating until 12 or 12:30 the next day. So I'm slowly trying to add a little bit of fasting time each week without making some drastic change of, now all of a sudden I'm fasting for 18 hours. I feel like for me, starting the initial process of fasting to 16 hours wasn't a big deal. But getting to that 18 hours I've found to be a little bit harder. So I'm easing my way into it by just finishing my dinner earlier at night and then trying to add on a little bit of time the next day before I eat my lunch, if that makes sense. So those are the two big changes that I made. So again, on the weekends, I'm still putting a little bit of almond milk in my coffee because I want to enjoy my coffee sometimes. I'm not loving my morning cup of coffee anymore. I rely on it for energy, to be completely honest, so I drink it. I know I could do tea, but I'm not really interested in tea. So on the weekends, I allow myself that little bit of a treat, and then come Monday, I go back to the black coffee for the 5 days a week. So that is how I'm choosing to structure this. It works for me. By the way, I'm not telling anyone to do this. In fact, if you are thinking about making a major change in your diet or your exercise routine, you should probably consult a doctor, especially if you have some underlying health issues, because fasting may not be the way for you to go. That could cause more damage to, you know, whatever condition you have than anything else. So make sure you talk with a physician about this. I'm just telling you guys my experience. It's really positive so far. I don't see myself stopping this at all. I am so happy with where I have come with both my fitness as well as my diet and food and all of that stuff. When I am eating, I am choosing really healthy things. I'm not replacing the calories that I used to eat in the morning for my breakfast and my afternoon snack. I'm not taking those old calories and moving them over to the afternoon. I've basically eliminated those calories from my diet, and I'm still doing fine. I am still getting pretty close to what my macros are supposed to be each day. I've definitely looked into how many calories I'm supposed to be eating, and I have tracked what I do eat. So I come pretty close to where I need to be each day. The thing that I kind of suck at is protein. I feel like protein is hard to get in, at least the levels that I need to be consuming. So that is something that I struggle with, but you know, each day is an opportunity to try again, and nothing's ever going to be perfect. I'm never going to do this perfectly, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. I just don't feel like being perfect at any of this stuff. Like, I do what I can to feel my best, and that is what is working for me. So that's my 3-month update for you guys. I'm really happy. I honestly feel so great. I would highly recommend looking into intermittent fasting if you are a healthy individual who is looking to, you know, maybe try to lose some weight, or to maybe help with some gut issues that you might be dealing with. Honestly, it worked really well for me in that department, and I would definitely encourage you to think about that. But again, don't do anything if you have any underlying health issues. Do your research. There are several different fasting methods. The lean gains may not work for you. You might do better with the warrior diet. You might do better with eat, stop, eat. You know, just pick what works best for your lifestyle. I have chosen what works for me, and I'm having a great experience with it. So let me know if you have any questions down below. And again, my first 2 videos I will link in the description box down below, so check down there. Please subscribe if you're new, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care.